Today I'm going to be showing you a really beast Hipfire throwing knife build. Now you could actually replace the throwing knife with the flashbang or the frag. There is no downside. You'll be running the same perks. Now also we're going to be getting basically laser accuracy on SMGs. So you can use an SMG or you can use a shotgun. Now the build will be tweaked by 2 perks for the pump action, which I'll show you how to convert those 2 perks for the pump action. But let's get into this and then we'll come back to the loadout. The first thing we're going to be taking is Ammo Specialist. This gives us 20% increased ammo capacity. It also allows us to take Scrounger. Since we can get Edge whenever we want and we can refresh Edge whenever we want, this allows us to get 10% chance of replenishing one of our throwables off every ammo drop on the board. So whether you're throwing frags, flashes, or you're using the throwing knives like myself, you'll be able to replenish a lot of your throwables through ammo drops. Next, because this build is either for shotguns or SMGs, reloading while sprinting is huge to cover the gap. Yes, we can sit there and we can burst fire, quick burst, and take out a sniper at 50 meters with our SMG, but you can't do that with the shotgun. And either or, reloading while sprinting for both builds is really nice because both builds you do not want to be slowed up. You want to move and close the gap and hit at close range. Next, because this is a close range build, we're also going to put a little bit of defense into it. Just 3 perks is going to give us a ton of defense though. So we take Tank. 1, this gives us 20% regeneration speed on our armor chunks. 2, we get 2 additional armor chunks. 3, we get 2 more additional armor charges. Yes, that is 6 ammo charges, and yes, you will be bringing the armor bag because this is close quarters and you're more likely to take a little bit more damage, especially if you're playing the shotgun build. And you can use this loadout and simply swap the gun out. You can actually use this loadout for both, so it's just a really good hipfire build. 6 armor charges that give you 2 additional ones off every one, so that's 12 armor regeneration, armor bars you can regenerate just off your ammo drop alone. Next, we're going to be moving on to Sharpshooter. We don't care about this. It's not for the build at all. What is for the build is our armor penetration is increased. Huge on the shotgun, pretty good on the SMG. We always have Edge, so we always get armor penetration is increased, and yes, you will notice the damage difference on the heavy swats. Next, we're going to be taking Demolitionist. Now, if you're using the throwing knives like myself, you won't benefit from this at all. But if you're using the flashbang or frags, you will get that 20% area of effect bonus. For everyone, regardless whether you're taking throwing knives, frags, or flashbangs, we're taking it to get Cooker. There's only one other good way to get grit, and it's not a way that we can get whenever we want like Edge. So this allows us to get grit whenever we want, provided we have a throwable. So if we're about to start a huge fight, we can open it with a throwable and gain grit and have grit and Edge for the start of the fight. I like the throwing knives because I get it right back, but also we're going to be taking the throwing capacity is increased by 2. So we can do this 4 times, and don't forget, we have the potential to get our throwables back off ammo drops, and you will get a lot of them in any given mission if you're using your throwables, so you will get those throwables back. Next, we're going to be taking Enforcer. We're taking it so we can get all the other bonuses, but it's also good in itself. Whenever we kill 2 enemies within 4 seconds that are 5 meters of us, we gain grit. So you can kill 1 enemy, and if you're using the throwing knives, that's why I like to use the throwing knives, also because they kill basically instantly everybody. You can just kill 1 enemy and throw a throwing knife, or if you get 2 quick kills with an SMG, or if you're really quick with the shotty, then you can occasionally get it with the 2 enemies as well. So this is our other way to gain grit. Then, by the way, do not ace this. We don't need the other one. we have other ways to do that. So we're going to be taking quick reload as long as we have grit and edge, which we'll always have. We get increased reload speed. It would have been nice to fit this in, but it's only within 5 meters of us. And if you want to remove one thing like escapist or the extra consumables or something, you can replace one thing and put face to face. It's really good for the build as well. Bigger though for the build, as long as we have both edge and grit, which we always will, we are immune to stagger effects, which is pretty damn huge. Also, whenever we reload a weapon while the magazine still has ammo, we refresh edge and grit. So you can even swap to your pistol in between enemies and quickly just fire one bullet and reload. If you're using the shotgun, you'll have plenty of ammo. Just occasionally fire one bullet. And if you're using the double barrel, you'll just occasionally on one shot when you get the one shot kill, or just occasionally just fire one shot and reload. If you're using the SMG, just reload a little bit before you empty the clip occasionally. You can watch the meter, know exactly when to do it. So if you want to run the pump action, you can drop two things like quick reload, because you'll be getting a lot more off the ammo drops and won't need the reload speed as much. Or you could drop something like the extra munitions, or you could drop escapist. There's a couple of things, or you could drop the ability to gain the grit and go more for the double kills. There's a couple of ways that you could do this, or you could drop the increased armor penetration. It is pretty worth it to drop two perks that you feel are less for your gameplay to pick up this perk right here if you are going to run the pump shotgun. Our last category will be Gunslinger. So this allows us, when we switch weapons, to gain edge. So this is how we gain edge. Remember, we can refresh our edge every time we reload. So all we need to do is occasionally gain it, and this allows us to do that. Now, you're going to have the ability on your Hipfire accuracy to never ADS anyway from the other Hipfire bonus recoil accuracy. So already tested, no need to worry about that. Do not ADS, do not lose your edge, because the edge is really beneficial. Only Hipfire. If you absolutely need to ADS for some reason, just keep in mind you're going to be losing a lot of the benefits from this build. As long as you have edge, your Hipfire spread is decreased. Another reason why we don't need to ADS. As long as we have edge, Hipfire shots will cause heavy stagger. This is really sweet. This is not a chance to cause heavy stagger. This is a guaranteed heavy stagger. Huge on the SMG. Still good on the shotty, because you're finishing them off generally with the second shot or third shot on the pump anyway. And lastly, we do want to swap weapons faster. So when we do ever want to get it up real quick, we're not wasting time. Also, if you do happen to want to swap to your pistol because you're low on ammo on your shotgun and just want to refresh your grit and edge, then you can quickly swap weapons, fire one bullet on your pistol, reload, and then swap back to your shotgun, which is the other reason for taking quick draw. And that's all the skills for the Hipfire build. You can easily run an SMG. You can probably even run an AR with it, honestly. The SMG is so accurate, it really makes no difference. It's really just a Hipfire build with throwing knives or consumables combined with it. Now, if you're going to be running the shotgun, I do highly recommend bringing a highly accurate pistol. And if you're bringing an SMG, you probably want to bring something more like a hand cannon. So if you do run low on the SMG, you still have a lot of power in your build. Obviously, you got to run the armor bag, 6 armor uses and dual uses on all of those. I chose the Throwable, but as I said, the build works for frags and it works for flashbangs as well. Heavy ballistic lining, obviously, because it is also a tank build. Your overkill can be your choice, but if you're going to be running shotgun and playing close quarters, I probably wouldn't want to use the grenade launcher. personally, I just love the Red Fox over the grenade launcher anyway. I like the snipe, and it's such a beast weapon. But, you know, dealer's choice on that. Take what you want. And depending on what you're doing, I personally like the infrasonic mine for occasionally stunning a group about to come up on me and then mow them down while they're stunned. Or if it's a spawn area where I'm going to be dealing with them for a long time, setting up a motion sensor and knowing when they spawn in. And that is my Hipfire throwing knife build, which you can use for shotguns, SMGs, even ARs, and it also works with the throwing knife. And you know, you just tweak one thing or another, change one weapon out, and the build holds just fine. If you liked the video, leave a like, comment, share. It helps others find the video. I hope this helped.